welcome to today's live IELTS class, International English Language Testing System. My name is Adrian and I am broadcasting this lesson to you close to the Danube River here in Central Europe. I hope everybody is having a great weekend so far. Hi Macpreet, hi Roshna Dahal, hi Lena Naji, hi Tina. Hello, 3D Pictures. Haung, good to see you in this class as well. Hi, Reza Okravi, Brahim Laribi, good to see you all. This is a speaking lesson today. It's for the speaking part 3 of the speaking interview. And these materials and lessons are produced by aehelp.com for academic IELTS. And for the general version of the exam, be sure to join us at gieltshelp.com. On both of those websites, we have tons of great materials to help you improve your band scores. This is our academic website here with the blue background. Click that red button to join us there. And our general version of the same is with the green background. Click that red button there to join us. All right. If you have questions about the exam, send me an email, Adrian, A-D-R-I-A-N, at aehelp.com, and I will gladly respond to you. And you can also get our exam books from Amazon. Search for AE Help's Academic IELTS or GE Help's General IELTS. You can buy them in digital or paperback versions as well. Students, usually the live streams are Wednesday to Saturday from 13:30 to 14:30 and 15 to 16 o'clock according to Central European Summer Time. So just put in CET or CEST into Google and you'll be good to go. Okay. Money Deol, again, just go to our website to get our membership. To join our premium package there, okay? 3D Pictures, I hope your IELTS exam today went really well. I'm rooting for you. I know you've participated in lots of these classes, so I hope it went well. All right, students, let's get to speaking part 3 questions. This is a speaking class, so make sure to repeat questions and repeat answers. Okay, very important that you repeat as much as possible. If you get lost or fall behind, don't worry about it. Just keep pushing forward, okay? All right, so half an hour ago, we had a members chat class that was about an interesting animal. So the cue card was talk about an interesting animal. I think many of you were in that class. Preeti, I know you were there. Hung, I know you were there. We talked about hummingbirds, which is great. It's an interesting animal. And now we continue with part 3. Part 3, students, is always a continuation of your part 2 cue card. That means you should work hard to connect your answers and ideas between the part 2 cue card and your answers. Ivna Alirak, you're welcome. I'm not sure what you're thanking me for, but hopefully it's because you did a great job on your IELTS exam. All right. Dija Afar Hamidi, thank you for joining our premium package. Awesome. If you have questions, send me an email. All right. So again, part 3. The examiner says, now, that is the end of part 2. We will continue with part 3. I will take back the card now with the questions and the note paper and the pencil. They should take back the note paper, the pencil, and the cue card. If they don't worry about it. Just focus on the examiner. Focus on the questions. If they leave the card and the note paper with you, they forget about it, just leave it, okay? All right. Mani Diol, thanks for your question. Our premium course is for 120 days. You can use it, okay? For 4 months, you have access. All right, so students, let's target part 3 here. If you have more questions, students, about our premium package and our courses, I'll be super happy to answer them. Just send me an email, okay? Just send me an email. Let's focus. Okay, so the examiner now says, let's talk about wildlife. Now, in part 3, the questions are more specific. You have to really focus. You have to answer in full sentences, give examples, explanations, okay? Here is the first question from the examiner. What are popular places for people to visit if they want to see rare animals? And I guess if you were watching our last lesson, you probably know or remember some from the brainstorming that we did. So again, the examiner asks you, what are popular places for people to visit if they want to see rare animals? All right, so give me some nice full sentence answers. Now, here's some hints, students. Notice the if. That means that this is a conditional. So you should answer in conditional. You should paraphrase easy common nouns like people with words like individuals. Another word that's fairly easy to paraphrase is popular. Okay, there is some help for you to give a high band answer. So again, for high band answers, use the question, reflect the grammar. This is an if question condition, all right? You can paraphrase that with the word when. All right? Begzod, good to see you in this class as well, my good man. All right, and I see some answers coming up. Hung, zoo is okay, but it's just one word. Hung, I want to see full sentences from you, okay? Morteza says Africa is better, but again, Morteza, that's too short. You really need to answer in full sentences, all right? Begzod says the most frequented place for seeing unique animals is a zoo, not only because there are hundreds of species, but also people can view their habits and a little bit of habitats. Lifestyle is a little bit strange, Begzod. Lifestyle we use for humans, okay? Satisfying Time says, I think the most exciting place for such a reason is undoubtedly Africa. Right, but what do you do in Africa, Satisfying Times? There, it's good to know the word a safari. Go on a safari, okay? Silin Wang, National Park is okay, but you need to give me longer answers. Students, this is a speaking part 3 with full sentences. Make sure to repeat and use full sentences. Pachu, good to see you in class. Pachu Yadav says, there are some places where people observe rare animals, such as a zoo, national park, and even on a TV, because they are easily available and accessible for people. Very good, Pachu. That works. Okay, so all right. Combined a few of your answers to give a very connected response. Again, repeat after me. What are popular places for people to visit if they want to see rare animals? When people, let's change people. You need to really paraphrase words like people as much as you can when you hear them in the question. So when individuals want to see unique animals, showing the if condition with when individuals, make sure you repeat. When individuals want to see unique animals, common places to visit include zoos and national parks, as they are often easily accessible. Of course, for adventure goers, an African safari is an exceptional location for seeing rare species. All right. So, that is a high band answer, combining a few of your answers and responses. Thank you for the contributions. Preeti says, famous places where individuals can see rare animals is either a zoo or forest reserve. Just last Sunday, I took my daughter to the national park and we saw a few different types of unique and rare species, even a hummingbird, Preeti. Even a hummingbird, right? Make that connection to part 2, Preeti, but fantastic. Otherwise. All right. And the follow-up questions. Now in part 3, you will have follow-up questions, okay? One way that part 3 is more challenging than part 1 is it's not only more specific, the questions, they're connected to part 2, but the examiner will also ask you follow-up questions to your responses. Okay? So, are there any other ways to see such animals? Now, here, you want to be quick and clever. You may need to think out of the box. Satisfying Times says, an alternative way to see the beauty of wildlife is on the TV. Channels such as National Geographic and Discovery can easily let people inside the enjoyment of watching a wide variety of animals. Satisfying Times, very good. Satisfying Times, avoid you. I know using the pronoun you is very common in speech, but in good communication, we want to avoid it. Oftentimes when students use the word you a lot, they start to get into a little bit of trouble. So avoid that word, students, you. Practice your speaking without saying you, okay? Dark Tobias says, another good choice to see such animals is through the internet. Last week, I watched an amazing documentary with my son about lions and their habits on Netflix. Dark Tobias, very good. Yeah, so internet or the TV. Yeah, sure. All right. There we go. Very good, students. Repeat after me. Are there any other ways to see such animals? Alternate methods of observing rare wildlife is through the TV or internet. In fact, just yesterday, I watched an amazing documentary on Netflix about the secret life of giraffes. There, Begzod, paying homage to your affinity for giraffes as interesting and rare animals in the previous lesson. I hope you appreciate that. All right. So 3D Picture says, I'd have to say that the alternate way to see breeds or species of animals, I think, is the internet, which has loads of information of all kinds of incredible creatures around the planet. Okay. A little bit of tweaking there, but otherwise it was good. All right. Tina says, yes, certainly. The other common way to see animals is on TV, like National Geographic and other nature documentaries. Surfing the internet can also serve knowledge about a plethora of species of animals. Very good. Danish Reza says, yes, of course, there are a lot of alternate options to see rare animals, such as geographical channels, Netflix, and lots of movies like Planet Earth. Very good, okay? Very good job, students. Fantastic. All right. Let's go to the next question. I love how so many of you who are tuning into these live classes and using our premium courses are really starting to improve not only your English, but your communication. And you should be proud of yourselves. You're becoming powerful communicators, and that is the greatest key to life. A lot of people think that money is what's important to be successful in life and be happy. I disagree. If any of you were to meet me on the street and ask me what is the secret key to a happy, prosperous life, I would tell you it is a high level of communication. Building your communication, building your English will lead to that successful life. So anyway, that's my little motivational speech for you. Let's go to the next question. How has human development impacted the lives of animals? That's kind of an interesting question. So you might want to start by saying, that is not only an interesting, but also a very important question these days. Okay? Only use this type of phrase if it's true. In this case, it is true. Okay? All right? Danish, the class times are this time, so Wednesday to Saturday from 13:30 to 16 o'clock Central European Summertime. Okay? Preeti, I'm glad that you like the motivational speech. Okay. All right. So, here's the next question. How has human development impacted the lives of animals? That is not only an interesting, but also a very important question these days. And it certainly is. Okay, it's a very important question. Visualize it. See it in your mind. What have humans done that affects the lives of animals? I can think of two right away when I see this in my mind. So when I'm picturing this, there's two ideas very quickly that pop up, which I can use in my response. Okay, so Sana says, destroyed their habitats by cutting down trees. Sana, that's a great start. Jafar, very nice vocabulary. Jafar Hamidi says deforestation. Yeah, so give me more. Give me some more information. You're definitely on the right track. Deforestation leads to what? What does deforestation lead to? In many parts of the world, industry has led to massive deforestation and thus the loss of animal. Let's see if anybody... Yeah, Naima Sultan is asking, Adrian, can we use where and when instead of the if conditional? Naima, absolutely, especially when you are using a real condition, right? When is used in real condition situations, same with where. Okay, so yes, you can, Naima. That's absolutely right. Okay. Not just loss of trees, but loss of lav panu. Very good. Loss of habitat. Human activities have destroyed the forest. As I saw in the news last year, the forests have been disappearing a football size every hour, and this leads to the loss of animal habitat. That's right, Preeti. Very good. So in many parts of the world, industry has led to massive deforestation and thus the loss of animal habitat. Thereby, the decrease in animal populations and in the most extreme and saddest cases, what is it called when animals die out, when a complete species of animals die out? What is that called? Meanwhile, I'll read some of the comments that are coming up. So Sam Shahar says, based on my knowledge, man has devastating effects on nature. By that I mean they have deforested parts of jungles, leading to loss of a variety of flora and fauna. Very good. Fauna, Sam, spelled Fauna, but very good. Pachu says, development of human society has created a good life for animals, such as making zoos and animal sanctuaries, while on the negative side, the habitat of many animals has been lost. Very good. Okay, and notice how this is a present perfect question, students. So you need present perfect in your answer. Okay, you must show the grammar of questions. Nice vocabulary, by the way, students. Flora means the plant life, and fauna means the animal life. Okay. Tanzid, that's an off-topic question, so you'll have to send me an email. Kamlesh says, until these days, we have destroyed lots of trees, which were the natural habitats of many animals, and also we continuously pollute wild areas, and such pollution leads to the death of animals. Tina, when animals die out, it is called extinction. And Sam Shahar, you're right, they become extinct. All right, so there is my answer. Repeat after me. How has human development impacted the lives of animals? That is not only an interesting, but also a very important question these days. In many parts of the world, industry has led to massive deforestation and thus the loss of animal habitat, thereby the decrease in animal populations, and in the most extreme and saddest cases, some animals become extinct, like the mountain dog. Okay, I do believe we had a type of species called the mountain dog, which is now extinct, if I'm not mistaken, until the early 1900s. So then don't be surprised by the follow-up question, and here comes the follow-up question. What can be done to reduce the pressure human expansion places on wildlife? 3D pictures, I just enabled your number. Just be careful with information that you show. Okay? All right, so next question. What can be done to reduce the pressure human expansion places on wildlife? Of course, not a surprise, that question. Okay. Satisfying Time says, that's a very complicated notion due to the increasing need of new lands, but in my opinion, there should be a revolution on the side, for instance, starting to use deserts for our needs. Okay, Satisfying Times, it's a kind of a complex answer there. I'm not sure what you mean by revolution. You mean alternate thinking, I believe. You need to be clear on that. Danish says, wildlife has the equal importance as human beings to live on our planet. So governments and every human should take steps to protect wildlife, not just because of government pressure, but also because of the need for our own future survival. Right, Danish? I think that's where you're going with that one. 3D Pictures says, I think that human development has considerably influenced species of both Diurnal and nocturnal animals. All right, 3D pictures. Just for using diurnal and nocturnal animals, I don't think you're going to get bonus points. We're not talking about the sleep patterns of animals here, whether they're up and awake during the nighttime or the daytime. So careful not to go off topic. Students, you don't get points for just randomly throwing in rare vocabulary for the examiner. You have to target the question. So I appreciate you 3D pictures for sharing diurnal and nocturnal, but they will not get you points in the real test for this question. Okay? All right. Begzod says the best solution for the impact of human population increase on animal life is creating animal preserves for endangered species. Begzod, did you notice the correction there? Human population increase, instead of rise, it sounds a little better, is by creating animal preserves for endangered species. Okay? Pornomo Adi says, so we need to take care of those animals. The government must issue rules and punishments if humans illegally poach wild animals. Okay, sure. Like elephants for ivory, right? Okay, Amar Wadi says, well, I believe that we should protect animals. That's a very good way to start, Amar. Let me just get back to your comment. From extinction by collecting them at zoos and national parks so that we can feed and help them to breed. Okay, good. All right. So here's my answer. Well, there have to be rules in place which are strongly enforced by governments and private organizations to safeguard the habitats and lives of animals, such as establishing national parks, like Yosemite National Park in the US. Okay, I don't know how to spell that. It's kind of a weird word. There it is. Okay. All right. There's my answer. Again, answer, explain, example. In this way, we can ensure the survival of animals, of not just, of both animal species as well as our own, since we too are a part of the greater ecosystem. All right, decided to throw in a little bit of more information there. But if you were to stop here, still a band 9 answer. Repeat after me. What can be done to reduce the pressure human expansion places on wildlife? Well, there have to be rules in place which are strongly enforced by government and private organizations to safeguard the habitats and lives of animals, such as establishing national parks like Yosemite National Park in the US, where thousands or millions of hummingbirds migrate every year. Remember our hummingbirds? In this way, we can ensure the survival of both animal species as well as our own, since we too are a part of the greater ecosystem. Ecosystem, for all of those who are not familiar with this word, is basically the interconnected system of life, right? So shrimp eat algae, fish eat shrimp, we eat the fish, we all survive, okay? So that is an ecosystem. It's the interconnection among animals and the living flora, fauna, and our planet. Next question, students. Next question. Oh, look at that. This is, by the way, how you know that you are on a roll and you're going to get a really high score for your speaking section when the part 3 questions all kind of make sense and are all connected. So here's the next question. If animal species continue to become extinct, what impacts may this have on human societies? Okay, so here's the next question. If animal species continue to become extinct, what impacts may this have on human societies? Okay, and again, make connections among the answers. All right? So, Satisfying Time says, as we all know, life on Earth is linked. The increasing extinction of this life will absolutely lead to a disaster in the long term. Extinction of one animal, for example, will lead to the death of another. Begzod says, that's good, Satisfying Times. Begzod says, if the types of animals go on becoming endangered, there will be clear influences on both food sources and flora existence, like a bee, which is the most fundamental insect for the production of fruits. Very nice example with the bee, Begzod. I know that is a major concern around the world, the dying out of bees. Abhay Sharma says, species becoming extinct is the worst occurrence to happen because it will decimate the natural food chain in the environment. Abhay Sharma, how does that connect to humans? And as humans, we also depend on animals to pollinate our crops and provide us with food, right? So what will happen if animal species die out? Okay. So provided that, again, showing that condition, right? This is a conditional, if animal species. So provided that species of, or provided that flora and fauna continue to disappear at the current alarming rate, ecosystems will collapse, and this will lead to a decrease in food resources for humans, such as the loss of pollinators like bees, and in turn, what is it called, students? What's the vocabulary in English when people begin starving? Starving means they don't have enough food. What does that mean? So if we don't have enough food and a population of humans has no food, what is that called? The word starts with an F. Let's see who is the quickest to get that vocabulary. Anis Kaya, very good, Anis. Famine. That's right. It's called famine. 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 Very good. And in turn, famine will surely ensue. Okay? All right. Repeat after me. If animal species continue to become extinct, what impacts may this have on human societies? Provided that flora and fauna continue to disappear at the current alarming rate, ecosystems will collapse, and this will lead to a decrease in food resources for humans, such as the loss of pollinators like bees, and in turn, famine will surely ensue. Okay? Of course, this eventually could lead to the extinction of humans as well. Dun, dun, dun. All right. Okay. Now, here is the next question. Can you elaborate? Can you elaborate? Okay. That means, can you tell me more about this? Okay, can you tell me more about this? So can you elaborate? Now, while you're elaborating on this, while you're giving me more details, more information, I'll look at some of your previous responses. So, I know that a lot of you are putting in a great effort. Murasa Baraki says, it's an interesting question. Well, animals play a vital role in individuals' lives. If they become extinct, not only will the next generation not see these endangered animals, but also the food chain will collapse and people will likely starve. Very good, Marasa. I corrected a little bit and added in some words to make it complete. Priyank Dudhat says, if animal species continue to become extinct, there are many big problems for human societies, like many people who depend on vegetables and fruits will no longer have foodstuffs. All right. Priyank, again, very good. Just a little bit of correction there. 3D Pictures says, I strongly believe that if the destruction of species continues, the production of honey would face considerable dwindling. As an example, yeah, much, much more than just the honey. It's actually quite ironic, but the honey that bees produce from pollen is a very small percentage of the actual food that is created by bees from pollinating different kinds of plants. All right. Purnomo Adi says, when some kinds of animals are going extinct, our Earth is in danger. Earth consists of flora and fauna, oxygen, and the like. If one of these components are incomplete, we, as a human, living, breathing organism, will surely suffer grave consequences. All right. Nguyen Jamie says that we preserve species in a red book is not effective enough to retain the natural wonders of Mother Earth. Real action must be taken whereby we save the lives of animals in order to maintain ecosystems so we too can thrive and future generations can enjoy planet Earth the same as past. Okay, again, I've added a little bit. Students, when I'm correcting your peers, make sure to repeat my sentences. If you miss it, that's okay. This is a recorded live stream. That means that after the live session is over, you can go back and practice these sentences again and again. All right? So Pachu says, as I mentioned before, today more medicine is discovered by experimenting with animals and food scarcity grows. Okay, Pachu, I think you're a little bit lost there, but not bad. Farhan says, it would disturb the ecological balance as extinction of one species, tigers, is the removal of another. And eventually, Farhan, I see triggers the removal of another from the face of the world and eventually impacts humans immensely by wiping out food sources. Farhan, that's good. Okay, that's some good detail. Begzod says, what I mean is that people would have nothing to eat, leading to famine, as well as all trees and flowers would die out as animals pollinate them and provide natural vitamins. Yeah, sure. Okay, so can I elaborate? Certainly. Aside from bees, major pollinators include the hummingbird, which I discussed in part 2, the cactus bat, and the monarch butterfly. Without these key species, scientists believe that half of the plants on Earth would die out in less than a decade. This would also devastate human population, leading to famine, strife, and likely war. All right, so I'm being quite critical there with my response, but if you can, why not? So, and a little bit of information about the major pollinators. By the way, pollinators, students, pollinators means an animal that takes the seed of one plant and transfers it between the male and the female, leading to fruits, leading to new life, new plants, okay? So the examiner says, can you elaborate? Certainly, aside from bees, major pollinators include the hummingbird, which I discussed in part 2, making that connection, the cactus bat, and the monarch butterfly. Without these key species, scientists believe that half of the plants on Earth would die out in less than a decade. This would also devastate human populations, leading to famine, strife, and likely war. Strife means conflict in this case, students, conflict. All right, now if you're doing a great job and there's a lot of quick question and answer back and forth between the examiner and you, the examiner will have some more questions. The examiner will ask, what kinds of farm animals? They'll say, let's talk about livestock. Livestock are animals that we keep for farming and for food. What kinds of farm animals are likely the most common around the globe? What roles do these animals serve in society is the follow-up. How has animal farming changed over the last half century? Is this good or bad? What can be done to improve the conditions in which livestock are kept? Why is it important to do this? Students, I will leave these 3 questions and their follow-up questions for you to answer for homework. You can record your answers on your phone and send them to my email. I will give you a score estimate for free. My email is adrian@aehelp.com. Please send your responses in an MP3 format, so they're simple for me to listen to. I don't need to download them. Okay. Practice your speaking, and just a little bit of wisdom and advice to finish today's class. Always take time to appreciate nature, protect nature. We are nature. We are a part of our beautiful living world. Whenever you can, work to preserve life, help animals as they help us. Have an awesome rest of your weekend. Hopefully, I will see many of you on Wednesday when we continue with live classes at the same time at 15 o'clock Central European Time. Until then, go out, take a walk in nature, go to a national park. Enjoy the beauty of life. Bye for now, everyone. Much love.